Well, trepanation in one form or another has been practiced for centuries, and not always for the same reasons. For instance, I mean, it was used to relieve swelling in the brain from injuries, but as you'll see here, some people use it for spiritual enlightenment.
Having holes drilled in their heads, a procedure called trepanation. Defies common sense, right? Well, after we broadcast our story, local law enforcement determined not only did it defy common sense, it was also against the law. This man, Peter Halverson, has become a guru of trepanation, telling people it will turbocharge their minds, even help eliminate mental illness. But now he's holed up in his home near Philadelphia, wanted in the state of Utah for practicing medicine without a license. Halverson's troubles began in January when he took a group of young people to get holes drilled in their skulls. The medical community ridicules the whole idea, saying trepanation has zero effect on brain function. But Halverson preaches the exact opposite.
It has a physiological effect. Everybody who has, in recent times, had intentionally made a hole in their skull knows that it has produced a positive effect.
Experts we talked to, like top neurosurgeon Mike Sisti, says this is bunk.
It's an assault. It's not a procedure.
Have you ever had a patient return to you and say, I feel rejuvenated, I feel as though I have a higher consciousness?
Never.
I went along on their journey to this home, hours from the nearest city in the high desert. Here, Halverson, dressed in red, together with an emergency medical technician, helped Heather Perry begin trepanation. Heather, who had come from England, said she hoped trepanation would cure her depression and give her more brain power. I witnessed the procedure. The hand tool, called a trepan, is used to bore a half-inch hole through the bone. Don't be fooled by the surgical masks. What I saw was messy and bloody.
Reviving an ancient practice that goes back thousands of years. People gathering in secret in the desert to drill holes in their own heads.
After our broadcast aired, it sent shockwaves through the state of Utah and the sleepy desert town of Burl.
It seems scary to me that somebody would try something like that. Real scary.
County prosecutor Scott Burns.
You can't drill holes in people's head unless you're a physician. And what he did was a crime.
Burns is prosecuting both Peter Halverson and the person who assisted him that day, Bill Lyons.
I've talked to physicians, I've talked to surgeons, and the best bet so far is it is baloney, that it has absolutely no effect except for the risks of infection, the risks of brain disease, and the risks of death.
We caught up with Peter Halverson yesterday, who, by the way, drilled a hole in his own head years ago. He says soon he'll turn himself in.
I'll be going into court in Iron County, Utah to face the charges filed there for practicing medicine without a license.
As for Heather Perry, the only one who began the procedure, she needed emergency medical care because she began to leak brain fluid. She could have died. But what I find completely baffling is after this serious complication, she's still a true believer.
Definitely got more energy, no side effects at all, just generally feeling much improved.
Authorities in Utah aren't prosecuting Heather, but they say she's lucky to be alive.
If convicted, Peter Halverson and Bill Lyons face up to 5 years in prison. We'll be right back.